Jesus Christ, Humps.
The Twitter though is just Zero Strategy Pod.
Hi,
All right, and we're live.
Oh, hey.
Hello.
Hello.
My
Welcome
God. Hey.
to Zero Strategy Off Topic, episode 1. Easy to remember the
After
episode
dark.
number when it's the first one. After dark. Yeah, I guess. First of all, thank you for being here. If you are watching live on Twitch, we appreciate you being here. We wanted to start a little side hustle, a little side podcast, not related to Twitch or YouTube or any of the usual topics. DMCA. So
Damn it,
We're
man.
into-
that didn't take long. All right, everybody fill out your bingo card.
yeah.
DMCA is the free square in the middle.
But yeah, so we're gonna be doing something a little different. So I'm joined today by my co-hosts with the Cyber Project.
Sad dude.
We have Just Grog,
Hello.
and we have Sir Humps,
Hey.
and I'm Connie Fly. And yeah, we're gonna do something a little different, a little fun. We're gonna be playing Never Have I Ever, so that we can all get
Never
to know
have
each
I
other
ever.
a little bit better, and you can get to know all of us a little bit better.
We're gonna
I
get
don't know
banned.
Whether
really
you want to or
fast.
not.
Yeah.
I don't think.
Hopefully, you still like us at the end of this. So
Oh, shit. These are supposed to be ones that, like, I haven't done.
ideally,
Oh, you're gonna be drinking a lot.
They're
Yeah, I'm gonna lose.
supposed to be.
the clue is
Well-
kind of in the name.
Ah, fuck, but they're funny.
You've never played this game before?
So right, so let's explain.
That's your question? Is that one of your questions? have I ever played this game?
Humps' first one is like, never ever have I ever passed a kidney stone. Fuck.
So
Think
yeah,
I did.
running through the rules. What we're gonna do, I guess, bear with us because it's the first time we've done this as well, over Discord and on the internet. But I guess we'll go one by one, and we'll each give a never have I ever statement, and if the other people have done it, then they have to. I'm gonna take a drink or just acknowledge in some way, shape, or form for anybody that's not drinking.
I'm
'cause
waiting on booze. It's
Yeah.
on its way. It'll be here shortly. I
Okay.
promise. Hurry up, wife.
Um,
I better-
and then yeah, we're just gonna learn a little bit about each other. Hopefully, some funny stories. And you know what, chat? If you have any never have I ever's for us, please put them in chat. And if they're appropriate, we might read
Even if
them
they're
out.
not. Even if they're not.
We may read
Let's
them
be
out.
real.
So, what's chat saying? This is gonna get messy. Yeah, hides the rum from Andrew. Okay, I've got beers, so it's fine. So, I mean, who wants to go first? How do we start this off?
Do we want
rock,
like a
paper,
light-hearted
scissors?
one?
I would maybe say, let me get a beer. Hang on.
But I don't have my booze yet.
Let's
I
start out
got-
easy.
I have a lighthearted one. Just
Okay.
like real basic. Like total throwaway.
Well,
So-
we'll do that one, and then I'll put a bomb dive one in.
Yeah, let's do that. We'll start out real softball, super easy, and then we'll go off a cliff. So never ever have I ever broken a bone. Never done it.
Nope.
Oh, Condi has. What'd you break?
Oh God. How long have we got?
Penis doesn't count.
No. So in high school, I broke my thumb a couple times. I broke my toe skateboarding. I broke my wrist playing basketball. That was a bad one.
You're a fragile little shit, aren't you?
I think
Wouldn't
that
you
was.
for like the distance you have to fall to hurt yourself. Like I just don't.
I think that was
understand
it,
the
you know?
physics involved here.
The worst one was the broken wrist, right? It was in school, and we had PE class, and they forced us to play basketball. And you guys are gonna make fun of me, but whatever, right? It's fine. There was this really tall guy, and he had the basketball,
Average height.
and I was standing behind him, and
He
he
was
did, he
5'6".
literally spun round, didn't see me, just clarted me in the face with the basketball, and I fell back and landed on my wrist and broke it. And then the school nurse was
That's
like,
like a foot and a half you had to fall, Condi.
I landed hard, like I went down hard.
Can I add a little bit of
It
context
was
to
a
this?
forceful foot and a half.
I played competitive basketball for 4 years, and the worst I got was a sprained ankle. Right? You played one period of
10 minutes of
basketball
basketball. Yeah.
in high
I
school,
was-
and you broke your thumb.
Played
I
by
was
your
in-
random rec league, 40 plus
The-
years old.
Probably the worst like physical injury. I did tear a ligament in my knee when I used to play soccer or football if you're on the other side of the pond.
Football.
Footy.
Football too.
But I used to be on my county all-star team. So for the county that I lived in, like in school, we were like in the finals, and in the run up to the finals, like I tore a ligament in my knee, and it was excruciating. That was probably the worst, but I've never broken a bone ever.
Well, see
I
that
tore
one.
my AC joint playing football, and I literally got told to tape it. Tape it, you'll be fine.
Dude,
And I played
the-
the rest of the game.
The school nurse basically put like some wet paper towel on it and was like, "Oh, you're fine." Like
Typical
go.
British.
Yeah, right.
Here's some Motrin.
And she was like, "Go to your classes, and if it still hurts by lunchtime, come back." And it was broken, like in 3 places. Like it was really fucked. I couldn't hold a pen to like write anything in my classes, and all the teachers thought I was like making it up. And I went at lunchtime, and I was like, "Yeah, this is really bad. Like it's swollen and everything." And they were like, "Oh, fine, you can go home." And then I came in the next day with a big cast on my arm. Like,
We're like, oh, what happened? She was broken, fool.
yeah. There you
Oh,
go.
our bad.
There you go.
So
I
people
don't.
that
You
are
need any
on
extra wet wipes? We got those.
people that aren't in the UK, like it's like an ongoing joke that the nurses can't do shit. They can't give you aspirin or anything like that.
Yeah.
And there's a literal meme of a guy's like arm almost hanging off, and it's just a nurse going, "Here, I'll put a wet paper towel on it. Come back if you still feel this way in a couple hours." It's like,
Yeah. So let's. I'll
teeth
go
count?
next.
Do teeth count?
no.
They're bone. Excuse you, say that like this.
Are they bone?
Like,
Are
what
they
the fuck?
bone,
No
though?
teeth? Oh my
They're
God.
not gonna put a
They-
cast in
teeth?
on your teeth.
When you're dead and your bones, guess what's left? Your teeth, fool.
Dad, this is spray bottle. No.
Yeah.
I
Let's.
broke my tooth. That's it.
I'll go next, and then we'll go round that order. So Cyber after me, and then Humps. Right.
All right.
Okay.
So, this is kind of following on from when we recorded a video. Never have I ever been arrested.
For fuck's sake.
Like went to go like specific like no.
I've never been
Like
arrested.
been put in the back of a police car.
Well, okay, that's
No,
different.
no, I was detained.
That's different.
I can't even
That's
tell the
different.
story. It's against US.
I was
You
detained
can't-
on suspicion of something, but I wasn't arrested.
Yeah, I wasn't arrested, but I've been in the back of a car.
I was young and naive.
That's fair. In my
Let's just do
video, when we were doing the Newlyweds game, you were all like, "Oh, there's no way Condi's been arrested. Oh, he's a good boy." None of you have been arrested either. Well,
Well,
except
I
Cyber.
mean, It was
Except
probably
Cyber.
Well, we've been in the back of car. Look, all right, I was a rambunctious child, and when I was, I think, around 7, maybe.
Didn't you pull your penis out and?
That was
that's why I
preschool,
got
though.
kicked out of preschool.
He did that at preschool.
While
I
he
was
was
at my-
also in preschool, just to make that abundantly clear.
Yeah, that's a different story though. You have to ask a different question to get that story. The I was at my grandma's house and I woke up. It was probably like 4 o'clock in the morning, and I wanted to go to my great grandma's house, and she lived around the block. So I was walking to her house at 4 o'clock in the morning in my onesie PJs with the footies, and maybe I was younger. I hope I'm younger. I was like, I was 15. I was in my PJs, my onesies, my footsies. So I was younger. Let's say 5. That sounds better. And I end up, I was around in this corner, I end up by this house with this RV, and I see this cop car, and I just was like, oh, fuck this. even at a young age, I was like, fuck this shit. And so I hide behind this RV, and they stop and they come get me and put me back in the car because I'm such a badass. And they take me to my grandma's house, and they're like, what are you doing? I was like, I was trying to go to my grandma's house. They're like, we just brought you to your grandma's house. I was like, my other grandma's house. She lives around the corner. My grandma, she didn't even know where I was at. She answers the door, and I'm there with 2 cops, and she's just looking at us like, where the fuck were you?
All right, and Cyber, you can't tell us your story, right?
No, it's against TOS.
Okay.
I don't want you guys to think less of
Leave
me.
off to the imagination then. Whatever you're thinking, listeners,
It's worse.
I
Worse.
was dumb. I was stupid. I was young and
That's-
naive. Let's just say that.
That's fine.
You trying
All
to
right.
get to your granddad's house? I get you. I get you.
All right, Cyber,
Yeah.
your go.
So this one's a bit more racy. Never have I ever sent a dirty text to the wrong person.
To the wrong person.
Hmm.
No, sorry.
No.
Drinking? No.
I don't think so. I've definitely sent many wrong texts to the wrong people. I've butt dialed.
I've
million
received
people
them
by
from
mistake.
Grog, but they were meant for me, so it's okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say all the pictures you
there you
guys
go.
get of me, it's 100% on purpose. So don't think like I accidentally sent you. You're like, oh no.
I
meant
can't.
to
I
send you
can't
this
drink to that.
My
But
wife.
can I? Can I share something different? Which is apparently. So one time I was on a walk with the dogs, and I don't know what it is with my phone, but like I guess it's for some reason it seems to like wake up on the sleep screen, and like because because like the iPhone has like the notification screen that you can interact with. For some reason, I've been able to like do shit on the phone without meaning to. So one time I called Senpai Sensation like on a dog walk, and he just heard like me like like the jingling of dog tags. But that's not the funny one. The funny one is once, and it took a little while for her to tell me this, but apparently I accidentally had my phone in my pocket um and had like Discord dialed Ginger while I took a piss. Like, and she was like, "Is he?" He is. And so she told me that, and then I felt so bad because then I saw like call ended, and I was like, "What call? I didn't. Did she call me?" And then she sent me a message trying to see like, I don't know how to say this, but you called me by mistake. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm sorry about that. I did that to Senpai, like, and this literally was like 2 weeks after the previous event. It's like, oh, I did it like 2 weeks ago. And she's like, yeah, no, but it's when you called me. I was like, I mean, what? I don't understand. And she was like, well, I might have heard something in the bathroom. And I was like, maybe something hitting the bowl. And I was like, oh fuck.
Oh no,
Jesus Christ. It could have been so much worse though. Just think about that.
Yeah.
it could have been. Yeah, for sure.
Better, you mean?
All right, speaking of humps, here we go.
Hmm.
Not getting any younger. Especially you. Sorry.
He's choosing carefully.
Okay. Well, see, the thing is, all of mine I've done.
Well, enjoy your drinking.
Well, I'm waiting. I'm still waiting. My booze isn't here yet. Just picking it up.
All right, we'll slow it down
Let's
until the booze gets
say
here.
never have I ever. We'll start off nice. Well, never have I ever made whoopee in public.
Define public. Please define public, because I might need a drink.
And not in private.
Yeah, chat would like people to define whoopee as well.
Come on, guys. It's sexy times.
I was
Did you
young
ever
and
have
naive,
sorry-
okay?
Sorry,
Do you ever get your freak on in
kids-
public?
Yeah, these there's a wedding, was it the Newlywed Game? That's a reference. Newlywed, old video game, old game show. Whoopee.
Define sexy times.
So I won't tell you about the actual time I'm thinking of, but I will tell you an even funnier story. So I went to one of my friends' 30th, got blackout drunk, was sick,
Also,
all that
please
kind of
play
stuff.
along chat.
And I had the amazing idea to walk to roughly 2.5 miles home along the canal, and for some reason I thought it would be a good idea to just try and have sex with my wife in the middle of a canal, and she was like, "No, right, just get home." She literally like dragged me home. So there's your story. So technically I didn't. There is more to it than that, but you're not on this call, okay?
There's more to it than that.
There is, but we're not going into that.
I like
Hey.
Condi. I like your wife's comment. Does a party count? Because Condi should be drinking.
I had forgotten about that.
Money.
I had forgotten about that. So I did take a drink. I took a drink.
Me
It's
and my
not
wife,
really-
that's like our thing. If,
You better
start
if you have a
drinking.
party,
Please follow
and
their
you
TikTok.
invite us. If there's a party and you invite us to it, I assure you we're having sex in the bathroom. 100%.
Just making a note never to invite Humps round.
Absolutely.
Jesus. Isn't that your brother-in-law in chat as well?
Yeah. Right. Back to Grog, shall we?
Not my house.
All right, so never ever have I ever shit my pants as an adult.
Oh, fuck,
As an
where's my
adult, no.
booze? That's like a monthly thing with me, man.
He has sex. He has sex in the toilet, right? And then he shits his pants, and then he goes home.
I had a friend who regularly, when he was very drunk, like it was a regular thing that happened. And like he wasn't proud of it, but like I remember him telling me on a night out while he was drunk that this is something that happens to him like all the time. I've never understood it. I mean, I've been like blackout drunk, but I've never been that far. I gotta
Oh
say.
man, that's nice. At least he has an excuse, you know. "Oh, I'm really drunk." Mine is just like I'm vacuuming.
Oh Jesus.
I am never getting drunk around you. I'm taking a mental note.
Yeah, this kind of we got right into it. We've been going for like 20 minutes.
Just
Yeah,
think, when the whole COVID situation disappears and we're all together, I hope it really happens. If Humps disappears, we know it's one of two outcomes: either fucking in the bathroom or shitting himself.
Why not both?
Oh dear. Right, back to me then. Never have I ever cried in public.
Oh, shit.
I cried at my wedding, so I mean,
Cried at your wedding? Cringe.
real men cry.
I just took a long drink because there's way too many instances. So I don't know what to say. Depression's a bitch.
Dude, yes to all that. Yeah. But like the first time like I legitimately cried recently was when I was heading to the emergency room with the kidney stone. I was in so much pain. I've never been in that much pain before in my life. And it was like, and it wasn't even like, oh, it hurts. Like I've had things hurt worse, I guess, like initially, but they go away. You know, you break your arm, whatever, like it dies down. This is just constant, same level of fuck you in your side all day
Yeah.
long. And like I'm curled over. Caitlin, she was taking me to the emergency room, and parking lot was full, so she dropped me off at the emergency emergency lane. Well, she went to go find parking so I can start, get processed in. And like she drops me off, I'm like stumbling to where I can get to the door, and this guy comes out, older guy, and he's got a wheelchair. You need some help walk in? And I just start yes, please. And he sets me down, and I get there. He's like, "Where's it hurt?" And I couldn't tell him where it hurts. I could barely even point. I was in so much pain. Like the only thing I could do was just like point in a general direction towards him. I was trying to show him like, this general area. But as I'm moving my fingers towards him, he's like, "Don't touch me." I mean, I guess he thought maybe I was like a druggie or something like that. Because like it probably looked funny. Like I'm rattled. Like I'm drenched in sweat from the pain. I'm wearing like sweatpants that are like half on, half off. No hat. I'm like beard, hair a mess. And some car just drops me off and drives off. I get it. But it was just funny. It's like, "Don't touch me." I don't even care.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a crier in general. I'm more of a hold my feelings in and then get real mad. But I did realize after the fact I read the question, like crying in the cinema, I guess counts.
Sure.
Right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Transformers 3,
Oh my god.
emotional
That's
time
what,
for
Come
me.
and get you,
that's
man.
what got you?
It's an emotional time for me.
Like movies get me, but Transformers.
That's like maybe it was Transformers 2. I don't remember, but that's like a joke in that
I'm
Dale
expecting you to be
teases me
like,
about.
it was Hidden Figures, or it was Schindler's List, and Connie's like, it was Borat 2, like Transformers
Dude,
3.
listen, I thought Bumblebee was gonna die, and it was real sad. All right, but you know, I guess like I kind of tear up when like just really epic stuff happens too. Like the first time I saw Endgame in cinema, I was like tearing up, trying not to cry.
Can I
First time
tell
you met
you,
me.
there's a movie that every single time I've ever watched it, it's made me cry. Well, actually, there's two. One is Dancer in the Dark, the one and only film that Bjork starred in, and it's fucking amazing if you've never seen it, but it's heavy as shit. So make sure that you're in a good space to watch it. But second, Iron Giant. Oh my god, the bit where he says I'm Superman, and it fucking wrecks me every time.
The first time I
Also, an
ever
amazing
cried at
film.
the first time I ever cried at a movie was The Green Mile, for obvious reasons. If no one's ever seen it,
I don't remember.
Is that a
I
movie?
feel like I've seen it, but
it's the
I'm
one
just
with
kidding. I'm just-
John Coffey. I forget the name of the actual actor that plays him. But it's
Tom
based
Hanks,
around.
prison.
Yep. It's based about
It's a Stephen King movie.
Bear
Or
from
based on Stephen
Armageddon, the
King
big
book.
black dude.
Yeah, I think I was like 15 when I watched it, and literally the first movie I ever cried to. It's
My-
heartbreaking towards the end.
my wife's a crier. Like
It's not quite Bumblebee dying, but you know.
No, yeah, right. So she just brought it up in chat there as well. Like I was round at her mum's house, and they were discussing Fox and the Hound, the Disney movie. And I think me and my mother-in-law went outside for a smoke. And as we were coming back in, we were like, "That's a weird noise. Like, what is happening?" And we walked in, and Dale and her brother are sitting at the table in just floods of tears. They weren't even watching the scene from Fox and the Hound. They just talked about it, and both and both of them just broke down in
Just talked
tears.
about it. You remember that one scene in that one movie? Yeah, I do.
Oh dear. Right, Cyber.
It's you.
I just did cried in public.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay, this one could upset a lot of people, but never have I ever lied to a friend to avoid a greater evil.
Wait, hang on. Lied to a friend to avoid a greater evil, like to spare their feelings.
Spare the feelings, to stop something else happening. I am a bit too honest for my own good. So I just
noticed.
prefer to tell people.
I like Dale's comment. Define greater evil.
Yeah, I probably have. I don't know if I can think of any specific examples, but yeah, I
I
probably
can't think of
have.
an instant. I can't think of any specific instance, but I know that I've lied to spare like someone a hard truth, or I've like
not
definitely
said-
done to soften a blow, that kind of
I've-
thing.
I've seen it backfire on too many people, so I would rather tell them the truth and suffer the consequences. Because I would rather the other side of the coin where they would find out that I knew and then fall out.
Gotcha.
Whether or not that's the right thing to do, I'm just too honest.
Yeah, I just try not to. I just avoid confrontation.
I've noticed.
All right, Humps, hit us.
Is it me already?
It's you already.
Never have I ever believed something was haunted.
What?
Believed something was haunted.
So that's kind of a twofold question. It's almost like, do you believe in ghosts, and then do you believe something can be haunted?
Nah, that's a situation though. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter if you believe something was a ghost, something was haunted. You can believe in something ghost and not believe something was haunted.
True.
I had a spooky experience when I was a kid. There is a house across the street from me, like maybe it's like 6 to 8 houses down the block. And at the time, it was like a second home for people. Because I grew up in like a resort, not a resort, but like a destination town. Like summer tourism was already really big, but it was really small town. And there was this house that, again, most of the year nobody was in. And it was like, I think it was like fall going into winter, and this house like never really saw a lot of activity. Sometimes in the summer you'd see people like come in and out with groceries, and they would just like be different people all the time. there's one time where I knew there was there's no car in the driveway, there's no one there, and I swear to God, it was like a little A-frame building and had a window just at the very peak where I presume, like, not a lot of houses where I grew up had attics or basements. Like, they were all pretty small, but like this is a second story, and so above the second story there's a little window, and I swear to God, I was walking down the street and there was like this little kid, like 5, 6 years old, just standing in the window staring at me out of it.
Ugh.
But then like it really freaked me out, and I like hurried up my pace, and I was just like, this is making me very uncomfortable. And then I like came back and I never saw the kid again, and I never saw anything in that window ever again. But like there was no car in the driveway, no one was that I knew of was renting it, and this was like the only road in and out of like my street, in terms of like where I went to school. So I walked past it every day, and like I don't know, it freaked me out because like it looked like this like faded, almost like a faded photograph of like this like dead-eyed child just staring out a window.
Ugh.
I don't believe in ghosts, but that has always stuck with me.
So, like, I'm a realist and I work with physics every day. I know for a fact that you can't destroy energy, right? And we all, like, through the years of like medical knowledge, we know that obviously the brain houses electrical impulses, and it doesn't disappear when you die. So, me and Mary watched like a whole bunch of ghost stuff on YouTube, and I'm wishing that it is real, but I don't believe in ghosts until somebody shows me actual factual evidence that it does exist. I'm always going to be a skeptic. But some of the stuff that you see on YouTube, it's like it's kind of creepy because it stems like
J
very
Station?
close to the border.
Nothing. Don't worry.
Go on, speak up, you
I
little
was gonna
shit.
say like J Station with his 3 a.m.
Oh
challenges.
my god, no. No, but there's some where like there's I forget his name. He's a French YouTuber, but he goes through every single piece of footage that he gets sent through and he disproves it. But there's certain ones that he can't, and it walks that line in my brain where I'm like wanting it to be real.
I love the idea of it. So I'm kind of the same with Grog. Like right now, as it stands, I don't believe in ghosts, but I've had experiences. The first flat I lived in after moving out of my parents' place, Dale and I just started seeing each other, and when she would come round, there was a couple instances where we could hear like a baby crying. But none of the neighbors on either side had like a young kid, and we never really heard any noise from any other neighbors. And I remember one time in particular, I was in the shower, and the bathroom was in the middle of the flat. So there was literally just like my kitchen on one side and my bedroom on the other side. And I was in the shower and I heard the baby crying, and it sounded like it was in the room with me. So much so that I pulled the shower curtain and looked, and there was nothing there. But I heard it. And Dale heard it too. Not that time, but on other occasions, Dale heard it too. And then the weird thing was, so I told my parents about this. And my mum had a similar experience with, so when my youngest brother was born, we had to move house because they needed a bigger house to have 4 of us. And I don't know the specifics of it, but I know like that was quite a quick thing, so they didn't have a lot of time to pick a house. And we moved into this house, and we only lived there for like a year, and we moved out again. And I was really young, but I remember not liking the house at all. And my mum told me that she used to hear a baby crying, and it was like detached. There was no other houses attached on ours. It was a standalone house. And because my youngest brother was so little, he was sleeping in my parents' room, and they were redecorating like the spare room with the intention of my brother sleeping in that room. And she told me and my mum does not believe in ghosts at all. Like, she's completely skeptical. She woke up one night and heard a baby crying, and she said it sounded like it was coming from the empty room that they were decorating. And she checked on my brother, and he was asleep, and there was no other babies anywhere near. So
You have cats? You got cats?
no, my parents never had any pets.
Well, I'm not saying they had pets, but cats outside, feral cats.
Maybe.
During
I'm
that
sure.
season, you know what
I'm
talking
sure
about?
there's a logical explanation. I don't think I'm being haunted by a baby, but
No, I'm only saying that because I had a very similar thing with a baby in our house. Babies are common ghosts, if you don't know that already. They're the most prevalent of poltergeist. It was when we lived in Hawaii, and I was asleep, and I wake up, and we had a cat at the time, and my cat was sitting straight up, staring off into the corner of our dark room, and I kind of looked over to where the cat was staring at, and there was just this dark hooded woman figure holding looked like a baby. I was like, okay, I'm dreaming. I'm asleep. I closed my eyes and like I feel like I actually woke up, and so I woke up and I looked, and the cat's still staring in the same spot, but I know I'm awake this time. So I go back. I try to go back to sleep, and I just start hearing this baby scream, like crying, 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 crying. We do not have kids. We are nowhere near anybody that would even have kids, and it just sounds like it's coming from one of our spare rooms, just like this screaming, crying baby sounds. So, babies. What can you say?
It's fucked up, man. Spooky.
Sounds like we're all hunted by like children ghosts.
Dude,
Yeah.
so I listen to like ghost stories and stuff like all the time. Like that's one of the like my I guess like guilty pleasures. I love listening to like
Same.
short ghost like the No Sleep podcast. I listen to it like 6-7 hours a day while I'm at work and just ghost stories constantly. And I feel like at this point, because I've like listened and watched so many horror films and listened to all these stories and stuff, like again when I was working in an office, I used to sit and read like creepypasta all day long. Like I feel like I would have seen something as an adult.
I
But-
think the thing that really freaked me out with the experience I had as a kid was the fact that I grew up in this small town where, to flash forward later when I graduated high school, I graduated with less than 100 people in my class, right? So it's a small town. In a town that size, you know, a kid knows every other kid because there's like nothing to do. There's nowhere to go. It was a single main street. This is like a tiny ass little village of a town. So like there being a kid I had never seen before, that like it was just that freaked me the fuck out because I felt like I should know, and then I never saw the kid again.
Yeah, spooky.
It was
All
a
right.
cat.
It was a cat, yeah.
That cat-
It was
yeah,
that time of the
cat in
season.
Philadelphia.
There was a cat. There was a cat up in the window, dressed in a like a little boy's outfit.
It
Yeah.
happens. It happens.
Right, whose was that one?
That was Hums.
That was
sounds- all right.
mine.
All right, I'm gonna shift gears here. Never ever have I ever taken a dick pic.
Too many times to count. All those terabytes worth of files.
I will say I've never sent one, but you gotta take one just to
You
see.
took it for yourself.
You
that
just
is
gotta,
way
you
worse.
gotta take one to get an
You
idea
just
of what
look
it's gonna
at it.
look like. Well,
You
You
fucking
take a picture like,
deviant.
"Nah, I'm gonna save
Wait,
this one
wait.
for later. This one looks really good.
Condi, that's in some ways that's almost worse because it's like you took the photo and you're like, no one's gonna like that.
well, I mean,
Never
yeah,
sent it.
like right, like this is gross. Like, yeah, I mean, like, you just
Not
you
even
get
to your
curious.
wife.
I don't think so.
Then why'd you take it?
I'm
I like
curious.
this
I
angle
don't
with it.
understand.
Let's face it, there's no angle that makes that look nice.
Speak for yourself, bro.
Okay, dude. Okay.
Maybe it was
Oh,
a zoom
dear.
lens.
I'm
Yayo!
Yeah, I'm gonna sign you up for manscaping. You'll change your your outlook on life.
Okay.
I've never done it.
No?
Never had a reason to. No, because it's fucking weird.
Yeah, I agree.
Like sending
Don't
pictures of your
kink shame
genitals
me.
to people. I'm not kink
What am I
shaming you.
shaming you?
What
I'm
do
not
you
saying
mean?
you're a bad
you?
person.
Humps, you drank as well. You're
Yeah.
included in this.
Yeah, it's still weird. Just because I've done it maybe once doesn't mean it's like
so
a thing.
I will like preface this with I was in a long distance relationship with my wife. Okay, so needs must, right? I don't want to
Oh,
explode.
Maybe
how
that
it
could have been a
works.
better choice of words.
Nope. I chose my words very carefully.
Alrighty. Okay, here's one. Never have I ever wet myself as an adult, to be clear.
Does it count if a little bit of pee comes out?
I mean, I have when drunk a little bit.
There you go.
Like you have to
think so.
define that one for me.
I don't know.
think I pissed myself.
I haven't like wet myself, but like I've laughed so hard, like a little bit of pee comes out. You know? It's age.
I've
okay?
never soaked myself, but I've been a little tipsy, had a little pee come up.
I love it. Define wet yourself. It's pretty clear.
Like, how wet?
So wet.
Fair.
Okay.
I'm not a big drinker nowadays, so it's never been that drunk.
The two times that I've spent in your company, you have got shit faced.
I have
Right?
not.
It's probably part
peed
of my
myself,
doing.
though.
No, just when you said you're not a big drinker.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Okay, so never have I ever blamed someone else for a mistake at work.
So that means you have blamed someone else at work
Yeah.
I
for a
haven't
mistake that you
personally.
made. No,
Yes,
not
yeah,
you, but
yep.
like, yeah, totally.
Nope.
Nope.
Mm,
Let's hear it, Grog.
I'm honest.
I mean, it's like dumb, innocuous stuff. Like I forgot, like it was my job to like refill, I don't know, the toner or something, and I didn't, and then I blamed
Like,
it on somebody
fucking
else. Like, I mean,
Gary.
just like dumb shit. Yeah, just dumb stuff.
Yeah, that's
Nothing
fair.
like there's
So-
there's like no major event there.
So Humps might have a similar impression of the industry that we're in, but it's usually the conversations that I have is insert name. Okay, so we'll call him Gary from now on. It was fucking Gary's fault. Look at him, he's a prick. Like it's him, he did it. Like there's no reason to lie about it. It's like it was fucking him.
Yeah. If we mess up, it's pretty easy to tell.
Yeah, I've never had really a very important job, so it's not been a big deal. McDonald's probably.
I'm kind of a big deal.
If you served me my chicken nuggets, I would have treated you like the Messiah came down from heaven, okay? Especially if I was hungover, right? Do not put yourself down.
I wish everyone had that attitude. I dealt with some crazy people working at McDonald's.
Oh,
I
dude.
think it becomes the
Fast
territory,
food,
though.
fast food stores are the best, man. When I worked back in high school, when I worked in, or well, after high school too, worked at Del Taco. You had some crazy ass stories.
Yeah, I once almost had a fist fight with a lady because, so I don't know if McDonald's. I'm assuming in the US is a similar thing, but in the UK,
It's usually worse.
in the UK they do like a Monopoly thing over the summer.
Yep.
And like it's wildly popular. And I was a manager at the time in McDonald's, and I mean, this is like I must have been like 18, and we get packaging that comes in which has the Monopoly stickers built into it. But we ran out, right? Like it was only a couple weeks till the thing ended, and we ran out of like the packaging. And most people would come in and they'd be like, they'd order their meal and they go, "Oh, there's no Monopoly," and be like, "Yeah, sorry, it's it says it quite clearly, like while stocks last, blah blah blah." And they're like, "Okay, cool, whatever, that's fine." But like some people took it really, really far, and this woman was screaming in my face because she didn't get her Monopoly stickers. And the thing was, like, I was like standing my ground and saying like, "No, it says while stocks last, blah 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 blah," and I thought she was gonna hit me, and I was very scared. And we had stickers, like spare ones that we could give to customers that were kicking off, but I just didn't want to do it ever. I refused. So even though I had other stickers and people were kind of whispering like, "We could just give her the stickers," I was like, no, she ain't getting them. Like we're gonna fight about this. It's fine. But yeah, dude,
It's a matter
like
of principle at that point.
yeah, some crazy stuff. When
Dude,
I
not
didn't hate
related
that
at
job,
all, but just a crazy fast food story. So I was the closing night manager, and so graveyard shift came in because we were open 24/7. Drive-through was open 24/7, and I was counting out the registers, and I was just out in the back office doing my thing, and the drive-through guy comes through, and he was like, "Hey man," he was like, "There's some people that want a couple free burritos." The drive-through, and I was like, "Tell him no." And I go back to my thing, and he comes back. He's like, "They really want a free burrito." I was like, "Well, I'm not giving him a free burrito. Tell him to pay. It's like $2 or whatever it is." And so he leaves. I keep doing my thing. And he comes back. He's like, "They want to talk to you about this free burrito." I was like, "What the fuck is going on with this free burrito deal?" So I got out to the drive-through. I was like, "How can I help you?" And it was these three very attractive ladies in a single cab truck, not wearing any clothes whatsoever. I don't know if this had to do. I don't know if they're doing some sort of like scavenger hunt, but they were completely butt ass naked. And they're like, "Yeah, we're just wondering if we can get a free burrito." And I was like, "Let's get these ladies a free burrito." It's one of like my best moments of my life.
that could also work for the other one if you just go like, that Gary, he was saying that you weren't allowed a free burrito. I would never say that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
This guy's an idiot.
That's a good one. Whose was that? That was
That That was
That was stemming from mine.
But
that was
yeah,
Oh yeah, yeah.
that's Humskull.
You.
One beer? Mrs. Humps, keep
Yeah,
them coming.
Yeah, he's got some catching up to do.
Notice how she didn't even flinch on that one. She was like,
That was cold.
This podcast was a mistake.
Oh,
Right, so
excuse me, sorry.
whose
That
go
was-
was it now?
That was
It's
sponsored
Humps.
by Huger Street. Hugie Street.
Didn't even touch
your
the
turn,
sides. Didn't even touch the sides.
Let's see. Never have I ever been kicked out of a bar.
Oh, fuck yeah. Oh, sorry.
Have I? What bar have I been kicked out of?
Put her on the microphone.
if you don't remember it, it's almost worse, maybe.
So,
Yeah.
I've got two stories. One, I actually got spiked, and pretty much collapsed in the bathroom,
Jesus.
and then got kicked out. So there was that one. The other one was my 23rd birthday, and I just had a little bit too much to drink, and the guy was like, "I'll speak to you outside, please." And I was like, "Yeah, sure." And then he was like, "You're not getting back in." I was like, "Okay." Called a taxi and then fucked off.
Yeah, same exact. It's been a couple of times for me. There was one time where it was just that had too much to drink. They asked me to come outside and then said, "You're not getting back in." And I was like, "Well, this guy's about 20 feet tall. I'm not gonna argue with him." And
So
then
he was like 5'9".
and then there was a time like going way back, my friend's 18th. We went into Edinburgh and like it wasn't even my fault, but we kind of went into the bar and then his brother, just for some reason, was giving attitude to the bouncer and we were all kicked out because of that. Like 20 of us all kicked out because our pal was just being an arsehole. So yeah, I guess I gotta take a drink on that one.
I think that's predominantly a British thing because it's usually like that one friend that you just want to shut the fuck up, and he never does, and he usually gets everyone kicked out, and it's like,
No, that's like a friend thing.
oh, do you have that too?
You always just have like one dude. Mine was it was actually 2 days before our wedding. And we had just pulled back in, so I was still in the Navy, and we just pulled in from deployment, and I was stationed in Guam at the time. And so we pulled in, and we go downtown Guam, drinking, bar hopping, everything that Guam has to offer. And we end up at this one karaoke bar, and my buddy passes out on the couch that they have in there, and I can tell the lady's like not having it, the bartender lady or the owner, whoever it was. So I go to my buddy and I just kind of tap him. I was like, "Oh man, let's go. We got to get out of here." And he just kind of like drunkenly swipes at me. I was like, "Dude, come on, let's go." I was like, "We need to get the hell out of here." And he just swings at me, man. And he just like, I back out just enough to where like it catches my nose, but I was drunk enough to where I was just like, "Fuck this guy." So we just start going at it. Like we're just fucking like a full on brawl, knocking shit over, fucking just going to town. They get the bouncers get us, grab us, throw us out of the bar. We keep
Like an
going
old
at
West
it.
movie.
Oh, dude, it was fucking nuts. We just start going at it. Like I'm like I was like, it was funny too. I was on top of him. Like I had my hands on his head, and like I was thinking, I was like, yeah, smash his head. I was like, what am I fucking doing? Like, what am I doing? This isn't a movie, man.
You're about to
I was like,
couch
I
some
don't really want to
tall
hurt
guy.
this guy. You know what I mean? So like we back off, and then like I think like we were both like staring each other down at one point. One of our buddies got us separated, and like I just like my buddy was like, other buddy was like, "You guys done?" And I was just like, "Yeah." And I swung, clocked him. He fell on the ground. I just turned around and started walking home. I get pulled over by the cops because there was, I guess, another scuffle somewhere. Might have been me. Who knows? They probably called the cops. And
Who knows?
I'm like, I was just like, you know, just after being in fight, I'm like up here. You know what I mean? So I'm just like walking. I'm like bleeding because he busted up my eye a little bit. And like the cops like, "You all right, man?" I'm like, "No, I just fought with my friends." Like this dude's like my best friend. And then like, I don't know. And the next day we ordered some pizza and just hung out. And then I had a bloodshot eye for my wedding.
God damn.
Jesus.
Fantastic.
You have
I
the
was kind
best
of waiting
stories.
for you to finish the story with, and that man is my brother-in-law.
This guy was also
He
the
was
best
my
man at my
best man.
wedding. Yeah.
And that man was my wife's father.
Damn.
God damn it.
Now, who's up? I keep losing track. It's
Uh,
Grog.
Never ever have I ever spent a night outside without shelter.
Like not camping.
Not camping. Not camping.
I don't really want to admit this, but yeah.
Well, Condi drank too, so
Yeah, I don't think I have. Yeah, I think I'll find someplace.
So
I'll
in
find somewhere. A bus
You'll find
stop.
the
in Scotland, it's a well-known fact that a lot of teenagers lie to the parents, say that they are going to be spending time at a friend's house, and what they really mean is they are going to a field somewhere to get blackout drunk with all the friends.
Yeah, that's the thing here too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I was 15, there was maybe, no whatever lie, 80 of us. We've got a group picture, it's up on Facebook. It was ridiculous. None of us had a tent, and we all stayed there until the sun came up, and then we walked home.
Yeah.
So technically, yes, I have.
How about you, Condi?
Same sort of thing. I did have a night, again, when I first moved into my own place and we had a bunch of people over, and I got a little too drunk and woke up in a field behind my house. And then there was a lot of nights camping where the tents just didn't ever really get set up. Did I tell you guys the camping story when our friends tried to scare us? Have I told you guys that story?
No.
No.
Okay, it's a good one. So I say it's a good one. It might just flop. I don't know. But we used to go camping in the woods near to our hometown, and it was like it's like a big part of a big like section of forest, and you know people used to go out there and like there's like dirt bike trails set up and stuff, and basically what we would do, because it was far enough away from any houses or roads that we could just go out there and do whatever we wanted basically, and it was kind of a weekly thing during the summer that we would go out there, set up some tents, have a little fire, a few drinks, and just camp. And there was one night where I remember there was a bunch of us going camping, and there was also another friend of ours was having like a house party, and we decided like we just wanted to go out to the woods and just have a few drinks and just chill. So I think we'd like stopped into the party, said hello, and then made our way along. So we'd been out for a while, and we were drinking and whatnot, and we ended up we were just chilling in the tents. It was like maybe 4 a.m, and we're trying to get to sleep, and we could hear noises, like there's like banging and clattering, and like we're in the middle of nowhere, like we're a good 20-30 minute walk back to any streets or houses. So you know, we're kind of shouting over to the other tents and being like, are you guys like fucking around? And they're like, no. Like, are you guys trying to play joke on us? We're like, no, we're not. We're just chilling. And then it sounds like someone runs right through the campsite, and immediately all of us are up and we're like, was that you guys? Was that you? Like, no, it wasn't. And we must have been like 17. And eventually between us, we decided that must have been a deer. A deer ran through our campsite. That's the only explanation. We all agreed that was fine. But then we're hearing more noises, and we're like, we're going to get out the tents. So we get out, and we can just see, like, shapes behind the bushes. And, like, it's, like, obviously the middle of the night. There's no fire. We're just got, like, phone lights. And I remember just thinking, like, we're going to die. Someone is here to kill us.
I'm getting murdered.
And, you know, and then they come out of the bushes, and we're like, there's people. There's, like, several people. That's right, yeah. So Dale was just saying we had like belts wrapped around our knuckles because we were like, we're gonna die. And then of course it ended up being the people from the house party had got bored and thought, let's go fuck with them. And they'd been throwing stuff at our tents. They'd been running through the campsite. We thought we were gonna die. I remember it like best prank I think anyone's played on me. I was afraid for my life. But yeah, it was a spooky one. My go?
Yeah,
You'll
I think
go?
so.
Okay, I'm going through these in order, so I'm not really picking what's good and whatnot, but never have I ever been on a blind date.
Oh, like set up?
I guess so.
Yeah, like other people arranged it for you.
No.
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 No? Me neither. Fair enough. Quick one.
Do another.
I wasn't much of a date.
You want another one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Never have I ever vomited in public.
Too many times to recollect. It's a
I've
growing
never-
theme.
I've never done it because I've been like because of something, like because of drinking or anything. But it's always been like I ate something really bad, or like I've just like a stomach bug. There's a whole number of times where I like went out to eat with a friend, and on the way home I just like felt really queasy and just not glamorous, but it's happened.
Yeah, a friend of mine. Again, this is so. Remember I was saying about my friend's 18th birthday? We got kicked out of a bar. The next morning, me and him went to get the train back home, and he was like super hungover. I remember he went to Burger King toilets, and I just stood outside Burger King for like 45 minutes, like because he just wasn't feeling well. And I remember us being on the platform for the train station, and we're walking to catch the train, and he just goes, "Wait." And then just carries on, gets on the train, and we just go home.
I've got kind of a football related injury slash being sick. It was kickoff return. I was running down the field, managed to get past my guy, and I went to go and tackle the ball carrier. And for some reason, he decided to duck and hit me under my pads. So I'm a big guy, but I run pretty quickly. So I must have hit him with some amount of force, right? Managed to tackle him. And I've never felt so much pain in my stomach in all my life. Like, I thought I was going to be sick, but I walked it off, went to the sideline, downed like a Powerade, and my coach kind of like nudged me, like gripped a hold of me, and he was like, "Are you okay?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm fine." And then played on. A lot of my injuries were football related.
My wife pointed out in chat, I've had plenty of migraine related barfs, as she put it. So yeah.
My most recent was at the emergency room.
When you were trying to pass that kid, yeah.
Well, I wasn't passing the kidney stone, but yeah, when I went to the emergency room because of the kidney stone, yeah, it hurt so much I threw up in the waiting room. They handed me a nice baggie, but the time, I mean, I've thrown up, a bunch in public. Usually, I would say 99.9% of the time is drinking related. The one that pops to my head was I was still stationed in Guam, but we were doing our last little tour, and so we pulled into San Diego. And I'm originally from California, so I was like, "Hey," I told my mom and my sisters, like, "You guys should come and visit me. I'm gonna take some vacation time, and we'll hang out." And we're like, "All right, cool." So we pull in. I leave the boat. They pick me up, and we don't even find a hotel yet. We just go straight downtown, and we just start bar hopping. It was just me, my mom, and then a couple of my buddies from the boat, and we're just bar hopping, getting complete. I'm getting completely. I mean, I've been, on a boat underwater for 3 months at this point, or something like that. So like, I haven't drinking in a while, and I just got completely thrashed. And like, my mom's like, "All right, we got to get the fuck out of here." She's like, it was like 2 o'clock in the morning. We don't even have a hotel room. And she's like in this rental car, and like I get in the car, and I'm just like hooting and hollering, yelling. My mom, she loves to send me this video because she recorded the whole thing where I'm just like slurring, being like, "Hey, fuck you guys are fucking stupid" type shit. And she was just cracking. I think it was so fucking funny. And then her favorite picture of me that she sends me every now and then is like I'm hanging outside of the passenger ride, best friends ride, you know what I'm saying? A little tail.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm hanging out the side of my mom's ride with vomit coming out of my mouth and to the side of the car. And,
I think we've all got that.
I need
story,
to
I
see this
definitely do.
picture.
one of her
Now,
most
I have
proudest
a
pictures
funny
of me.
story that was kind of related, where we were coming. I was like, I first started going to like music shows when I was like 13. I had a friend who had an older friend who had a car, and there was nothing around us, so everything was like always like an hour or more away. And we would always like usually stop off at a diner or something on the way home, and it would be like midnight, 1 a.m., something like that. And we were on the way home, and I had a milkshake. I was riding shotgun, so I was in the front right passenger seat, and I had a milkshake. But I had also like we'd gone to the diner, and I had like fries and I had food, and I was like full. And I don't know why, but I felt like, oh man, I so want a milkshake right now. But then I just couldn't finish it. I was absolutely stuffed. So then I'm like, I was also tired and out of it, and I was like, I don't really want this anymore. And mind you, I was young enough that I didn't, littering's not cool, guys. But I went to like
But at the time it was.
I went to throw it out the window, and we were on the highway.
Oh
And
no!
I started rolling the window down, and the wind caught it, and the lid came off, just like came right off. And like the last third of a milkshake just went right down the whole backside of their entire car.
Did it make
And
it like in the window?
So one of the people in the back seat had the window cracked because they were smoking, and then just like ashing out the crack of the window. So yeah, some of it came in, but mostly it was just like right down the side. And I like looked over the driver. I was like, did they fucking notice? But of course, like I had to say something because like, how are you not?
I have a
But,
very
yeah.
similar story to that, but it involves a pee bottle.
Oh no!
Of course it does.
And it's exactly
Now-
what you're imagining.
Now, the same friends of mine. This was like like months apart. We were driving back from another show, and the driver, my buddy, picked a booger, flicked it out the driver's side window, flew back in through the passenger side window in the back, and hit my friend in the face.
What the
Fucking
heck?
hell.
And it was so fucking funny.
Did I ever
Oh,
tell you the
damn.
story where Mary actually saved my life when I got spiked?
I've heard
No.
it.
It's kind of the running theme. God knows what they actually spiked me with, but the image that I actually remember was I was in the metal club that we were in. I was like huddled over, and Mary just sticks her 2 fingers like down my throat to get these drugs out of my system.
Sound like a
And I
good
d-
night so far.
And it was like the second time I'd ever met Mary. We were in Canada, and I just remember like being sick all over our shoes and just being like,
Oh,
I just sobbed, and I was just like, I'm so sorry. Like,
Will
do
you
sti-
marry
do
me?
you, yeah, do you still love me? Like, I was in that kind of like
And that's
hallucinogenic
How I proposed.
state, and I've never been so embarrassed in all my life. I remember waking up the next day, fresh as fuck, just like, hey, should we go and get breakfast?
Her from me being at her foot level from throwing up on her.
Well, no, she was like this
I
in my
knew
throat.
at that moment. Will
I
you
ca-
marry me?
That was literally the time that I realized I do not have a gag reflex.
Oh my god!
Yeah, that's when she was like, "This is a keeper."
She's like, I'm gonna marry this man.
She's like, "I'm marrying this man."
God
Oh,
damn!
Jeez.
Right, you're up, Cyber.
I'm kind of struggling because like the ones that I've picked is we've kind of touched on it. So I'll go for a little lighthearted one. Never have I ever fired a firearm.
Oh,
I have to drink for this one.
I'm not even
Because,
American.
Twitch, I'd go ahead and show you. You know.
so-
I've seen
you
the
can just
Twitter
look at
video.
Hump's
Humps.
Twitter, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see my Twitter video.
The first experience I ever had, we visited family in Tennessee, and there was no intention of even firing anything, or it was like people from Scotland didn't even have that notion in the head. And our uncle had a gun safe just full of guns, and he was like, "Yeah, just go up the field and shoot some coffee cans." And it's one of the best experiences I have ever had. Shotguns, rifles, pistols, everything. It was amazing. As much as like I condone like gun control, if you can do it in a safe environment, it's one of the best experiences you can actually have.
When I was a kid, I went clay pigeon shooting, and so you know they shoot the discs, and then you have to follow them and shoot them. It was like a friend's birthday party or something.
I'm a
And,
vegetarian, so I've never shot a clay pigeon.
those would be the pigeons you would shoot.
Yeah. But
You're not
I
gonna
don't
eat
shoot
it.
the real thing.
it was I remember distinctly, like, I hit every single one, like I didn't miss a single one. And I
Okay, yeah.
remember
We know that's
Yeah,
a lie,
alright,
just
yeah, no,
based on
weird-
the gameplay.
weird flex, but
Oh, you've got a
Those
whiffy
discs
more for
were
a
just
reason.
Flying by.
okay, things have changed. This is a long time ago, but I remember the instructor person was like, "Oh, like you seem to be really enjoying this. Like you should come and take lessons." And I was like, "Oh, Mom, can I go get lessons?" And my mom was just shut me down straight away. It was like, "I am not telling my friends my son shoots guns as a hobby." I was like, "Okay." So that was it. The one and only time I've ever fired a gun.
It's kind of different from the upbringing that I had, because if I said that to my mum, she would have went, "Yeah, fuck yeah, let's do it."
I mean, I was in the military, so I mean, saying that doesn't. It's
You
not
were
like
in
I
a
shot. It's not like I
submarine.
shot gun. Yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah, you have to get
I'm
qualified.
just
Into, like,
picturing Humps
Yeah.
in the bowels of a submarine, just like like Yosemite Sam. Bullets ricocheting around the cabin.
Hear this, you Russian fucks. Just kidding. I don't know where we went. I can't tell you secrets.
That's classified, everybody. God damn.
All right, Humps, you're up.
Mine are all okay. I'm tipsy enough for this to be funny. I'm just gonna get my beer ready. 'Cause all my questions are garbage. Never have I ever been caught hiding. Oh, I guess that's wrong. Never have I ever been caught solo hiding the pickle.
So
How
masturbating.
does
I
one
think you can say
hide
that.
the pickle
Masturbating
solo?
it. I just wanted a funny way to say it. I need another beer.
Yeah, me too.
Are you saying anyone ever seen you masturbate?
Everyone was
By
caught
Okay,
hiding.
Grok, yeah.
What?
Jesus.
No.
Do we have the- yes, never have ever
Solo
has
whoopee.
anyone caught you masturbating.
Oh yeah.
No. I was sneaky about it. I waited until everyone was out the house and I locked every door and closed every window.
All I can say
Through
is
the
if you
blinds,
think
lit
your
a
bedroom
candle.
door is
Yeah.
locked, you should always double check.
I put a sock on the door.
Well, that doesn't work when you're like, I don't know, 14, 15 years old.
Yeah.
Alleged, apparently.
I don't want to. I don't want to have to explain to my parents why I put a sock on the door. I just
Exactly.
thought it would work.
Yeah, they should just know not to barge in my room on a Saturday morning, Mom.
I was cleaning it and it went off.
She come barging in.
to follow on
'Cause
from
I
that.
don't know. I don't even know what she wanted. She needed something, so she just comes barging in, and I sit straight up, cover myself up, and I just like start making weird. I was like, ah! Start like hitting my blanket and shit as a distraction.
From that giant flagpole that you had.
As a distraction from what you probably already saw. And she's like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" I was like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" She's like, "What are you hiding from me? What do you got there?" And I had like a sock or some shit like that.
You
And
should
I
have
was
just
like-
said drugs.
It would have been better. And she was like, "What are you hiding? What are you hiding?" She's like, "I don't like this." She's like, "I don't like you hiding things from me." I was like, "Get out of my room!"
I'm hiding a boner from you, Mom. Jesus.
And I was able to, like, as we're arguing, cover myself up without the use of a blanket. You know what I mean? And like, I get this sock and I just throw it in her general direction. It's just a sock.
Wait, you threw the sock at her?
Yeah. Well,
my
it,
God.
I mean, yes.
God forbid you didn't finish,
She
right?
walked, yeah, she walked in, so I mean, it was a clean sock. I mean, cleanish.
It's
You know,
a
who
rock
knows how
hard
long that
sock.
sock is there? I can't
Hit
I
her in the
can't-
face.
I can't speak to the, the age of the sock. So I mean, I don't know, or the life.
I'm
the
not drunk
sock
enough for
led.
this.
You know what I mean? You picking up what I'm putting down? I don't know. I can't speak to what the life the sock led. You know
How
what I'm
much
saying?
had the sock already seen?
Exactly. You know what I mean? I can't say the sock hadn't already seen shit in its life, but at the moment it was probably doing okay. You know what I
You
mean?
threw a crusty ass sock at your mum.
Nah, I mean that's what I'm saying. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, the sock, like personally, was probably pretty crusty. I
You
imagine,
fucking
like,
weaponized a dream catcher.
yeah. And I threw it at her, and she was just like, I don't like you hiding shit from me. Like she like leaves, and she like as she's walking out, my sister in the other room, he was beaten off.
God damn.
I love that story.
It's a good one.
I need more beer.
I'm just thinking Kibbles is in chat and I bet he's like, thank God I didn't decide to jump on this call. Thank God I got out of this podcast. All right, Grog, you're up.
Never ever have I ever crashed a wedding.
Crashed a wedding.
Yeah, you weren't invited. You were
You
not on the
son
list.
of a
You were
bitch.
not meant to be there.
Grog, I caught
I
you.
have.
You're caught, you little shit. You
Why?
just Googled never have I ever questions.
Didn't we
No,
all?
I
You know
didn't.
why? Because
Why?
that's on my list. On this website I found.
I can't.
You piece of shit, you're lying.
Wow. I actually prepared and wrote them down.
I mean, I did. I have my list, but yeah, I just Googled like 300 questions of
that's
never have
fair.
I ever.
Yeah.
But that was one of them.
I've never crashed a wedding. No,
Me
I'm
neither.
not like. When I was like, until recently, I kind of hated weddings. Like, it's just a long day.
Define
and,
recently.
like,
Your wife's in chat.
well, I will say, like, maybe it's selfish, but since
Every wedding I've been to has been pretty garbage. Don't
since
say
my
that.
own wedding, I'm more like, the way Dale puts it is that like we spent so much money on our wedding, I need to recoup that by going to all of my friends' weddings and eating as much as I can. So
Yeah, no.
I'm excited for
That's
more
fair.
weddings now, but I have to be fair. I think I'll be invited. I hope I'll be
All right,
invited.
Dude, I barely remember my wedding.
I got another one since no one copped to that. I've never ever dumped someone over a text message.
Oh, fuck me.
I feel like you don't have to say who it was, but I'd love to hear how you did it.
I hated the bitch and she had to go.
Oh my god.
She cheated on me, so I felt it like kind of proportionate
Oh,
that
yeah, you
I
don't
did
deserve-
something back.
There's no rules of decorum in that situation.
Nope. I didn't want to see her face again, so
Yeah, I have, but you know, like when you're young and you're a kid, you don't really know how to deal with.
Oh no.
You don't really know how to
Dale
deal
said
with
she
stuff.
got dumped over MSN.
And if you-
That's probably worse.
If you don't know what MSN is, then you're too young to be watching this podcast.
Fuck.
Yeah, like you know, when you're young, you just don't really know how to handle these situations, right? So it's like
Well,
it's so much easier
it's-
to just send a text.
the thing is, it's almost like a prerequisite because you get the whole my friend thinks that you're cute, and then they almost ask like that person out for you, and especially like I think before you get to like the age of 14 and 15 and you actually learn morals, I think that's more of a like a common thing. But I think
Yeah.
if you're over the age of like 18 when you're considered an adult, it's almost it's disrespectful to do it.
Oh,
It's-
yeah, I
it's
mean,
not
now-
it's not the first thing to do anyway.
Now I would write a nice letter. You know?
with
and
my
send it by
calligraphy-
Royal Mail.
calligraphy
Do you,
pen.
do you start dear sir or madam?
To whomever it
To
may
whom it-
concern.
May concern. Our time together, whilst greater times, is now over.
Oh dear. Okay, this is a good one. All right, what have I got? Never have I ever dated someone much older than myself.
What's much?
The
older?
How much
Yeah,
is
defi-
much?
I
Define
mean,
much older.
I guess
I mean,
that's
mine's
really
probably a
down
no
to
anyway. I haven't dated
interpretation.
anyone really older than me, so it doesn't really matter.
I've only dated older women, so I guess.
Well, yeah, you have to define older.
Well, I guess if you would say like, oh, there's an age gap, like they're, you know, like,
The largest-
old enough.
I went
Like,
up with this 40.
The largest gap was, I think, 5 years. That was it.
That's not too. Yeah, I mean I would say that counts.
Well, I mean, that's not a big deal, but if he was 12,
Well, yeah, obviously.
No, it was not when I was 12.
Okay. just saying, just checking.
All right, no one on that. Well, we got Grog, I guess. How are you looking for questions, Cyber?
I'm struggling. We've actually like covered the 20 that I've already had, so I'm currently looking
Never
at a list.
have ever done.
I got one.
I mean, I have a few more. We can kind of just
I've
work
got a
our way
bunch.
through. If anyone in the chat has one for us, please let us know, and we'll
I
think
got
about
one.
it. Okay.
Never ever have I ever dined and dashed.
You're looking at the same website I'm looking at.
I told you.
God damn it. No, I haven't though.
No, I've never.
I
I'd
think
be
we
way too
wanted to
pussy.
one time, but we all felt really bad. And
There's
we went
been
back
there's
to
been
dating.
multiple times Lauren's joked about it. Like
So-
like she's looked at me across the table. She's like, "Do you want to just go?" And I'm like, "No." She's
Yeah,
like,
like, we
"No,
don't-
me neither. I just
We
wanted to
don't dine
see."
and dash. Our thing is more like borrowing without returning glasses and mugs.
Stemware.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah,
that's-
yeah, okay.
Everyone does
It's
that.
like, yeah. No. that's
We kind of did the opposite.
normal.
A few years ago, we were in the opposite where we
You
dined and
take glasses
paid.
to the place. Can you fill this up, please?
No, we were in Portugal, and we were in kind of it's like a little seaside town. I cannot remember the name of the town for the life of me. And we'd gone out for dinner, and it was like me, Dale, her brother, and her mom, and then like some other family from their side. And we were in this nice little restaurant. And we're eating, and we're like, oh, me and mother-in-law went outside for a cigarette, and we got outside, and we're like, there's a lot of smoke around here. Like something must be on fire nearby. And we're like, that's kind of weird. Whatever. Come back into the restaurant, and I'm sitting there, and I'm looking around, and I'm like, this room is filling with smoke, and nobody's noticing. Everyone's just going about their business, eating, drinking, and I'm like, there's a lot of fucking smoke in here. And so I said, like, I'm just gonna pop outside again. And my mother-in-law's like, yeah, I'll come outside. So we go outside, and literally, like, the whole town's on fire. The police are like, the police are closing roads, and it's like a small, like, really, really narrow streets and stuff. And literally, the police are just going building to building, evacuating everyone. And meanwhile, there's a whole restaurant full of people sitting there just eating their meals, oblivious. And I don't understand how. I guess, like, because the smoke came in gradually, no one really noticed it. But so I went in, and I was kind of like, they were like, oh, should we get dessert? I'm like, guys, I think we should just maybe get the bill and go. And they're like, oh, no, we should get dessert. I'm like, nah, let's just get the bill. And then other people are like, something going on outside. And I'm like, I don't want to cause a panic and like evacuate this restaurant. So I'm like, I think it's fine. I think it's okay. So we paid, left, and then literally as we were leaving, the police were like going in and evacuating people. And yeah, like fucking some flats above a restaurant had caught fire, and it just went out of control. And it was like crazy. But like, we could have just probably evacuated having already eaten our meal and not paid. But I was like, we should pay and leave. Just fucking crazy. I have more if we want some.
Yeah,
Well, there was one in chat too.
What was it?
I've also got one, but I have to drink to it, and it's a funny little story.
Literally all my
Yeah,
questions.
no. You're on like your third beer already.
Yes.
Yeah. So never have I ever accidentally said I love you to someone.
Oh.
Right, and I have to drink, but it's the cringiest story that I hold to my heart to this day. So I'll drink first.
Before I give you,
I've said it like a naive little shit when I was young, but like, you know, I don't know if it was an accident.
before you do your cringe story, like mine is literally just, you know, accidentally saying at the end of a phone call. You know,
I said it to my boss
Your
once.
boss?
Yeah.
I like, so Dale and I will always end a phone call by like, I love you, bye, hang up. And you know, sometimes you just get into a habit and you accidentally say it to someone that you don't mean to when you're on the phone.
It's one of the best things where you hear them going, oh okay, bye. What
And
the
then you
fuck,
just hang up the
weirdo?
phone and just throw it.
into the sea.
For years, when I was a librarian, I would sometimes answer the phone as though I was at work, even though it was my cell phone and I was at home.
Yeah.
So I say, hello, this is the Philadelphia Free Library, West Philadelphia branch. How can I help? Fuck! And it's like 7 p.m. I'm at home. I've had dinner. Like, like there's
Yeah.
no reason to do that, but I just done it all day long.
So the story that I had when I was 16 or 17, I had a girl best friend, right? And it was completely platonic, nothing like romantic or anything like that. And it was back in the days where you would like download movies from LimeWire, you know, and you would give your computer like
All the viruses.
60,000 viruses. And so I bootlegged like a whole bunch of DVDs, not proud of it now. But she was going through the list, and there's a movie called I Love You Man, right?
Mm.
It's quite a popular film, but I didn't even realize that it was there. And she said, "Hey, I love you, man." And I was like, I mean, it's a bit forward, but you know, I love you too. And then she explained what she meant, and I have never been more embarrassed in my entire life.
As you shouldn't. You should feel absolutely horrible for that.
And after that day, I never saw her again.
Oh no!
That's the appropriate response.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have either. Yeah.
That's actually, it's like you can't write that. That's like that's too perfect.
I love you too. Wait. What are we talking about?
I actually deleted that movie out of spite.
I don't want to look at this thing again.
Oh,
What we do at work. And there's this old guy.
Why did you laugh maniacally there?
'Cause it's funny. There's this. I mean, they're all old that I work with. A lot of the guys I work with, they're just older in general. But there's this old dude. He was a lineman for like 90% of his life. He's in his 50s. He's just this old, leathery dude from South Carolina. So you can imagine like the kind of guy he is. You know what I mean? And so he's on the phone talking to one of the generating units that we talked to, and he's just like, "All right, whatever." He's like, "Okay, yeah." And that's how he sounds. Oh, dango bango. And we'll
Dinka
pick up.
flicka.
Me and my couple of guys will like we'll like pick up the phones, and like before someone gets off, we'll be like, as those like, "All right, man, I'll catch you later." We'll say, "Love you." So like they think either one of them thinks someone said I love you.
Right.
And so one of my buddies, Chris, he got he got this guy Jim, this old dude. He was on the phone. He's like, "All right, man, I'll catch you later. Thanks for the info or whatever." And like my buddy Chris was just like, "All right, I love you, man." You're like, "Hey, what?" And he gets on the phone, and he looked over at Chris and he was like, he's like, "What's up, man?" He's like, "Did you tell that guy you loved him?" He's like, "Nah, you did."
It's brilliant. It's like the kid that accidentally calls the teacher mom in school and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, oh, man.
I've been this
I like
close
the-
to it.
I like the comment in chat from Solus that says it's like saying you too when the server says enjoy your food, saying that I love look, enjoy your food, you too. What?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. That's good. All right, I'll go through a couple of mine. I don't think I'm gonna get anyone with this one, but never have I ever been to see a psychic.
Been to what?
No,
Been to see a psychic?
or a fortune teller.
I've been to a hypnotist.
It's not the same.
Not really psychic, but
You lose out on that story.
I mean, tell it by all means if you want.
Okay, fine, I will. So we were at a fair, and there was this hypnotist that came, and I've always wanted to be hypnotized. I thought it would be just super cool to be hypnotized. I don't know if it's a pride thing in me. I just don't think I'm the type of person that could be hypnotized. So I'm like, oh man, this dude says he hypnotizes. Let's go to this show. So we go to the show. It was, me and Caitlin were still dating. This was years ago, back when we were young kids, you know. And so we're sitting in this big audience, it's like this big outdoor audience, and this guy on stage. And he basically told us, he's like, all right, close your hands like this and close your eyes and imagine I'm pouring hot glue on them or something like that. You can't pull it apart. Try to pull it apart now. And everyone's pulling around. He's like, if I come and grab your hands, he's like, come on stage. Touched my hands. I'm like, I can't move it. He touches my hands, brings me on stage. I become the show. Like afterwards, I told people like, oh yeah, I was totally hypnotized, man. It was crazy. It's like I just had no control over what I was doing. I was just having a lot of fun. Cause like he had me like try to get with the trash can. Like the trash can was real. I tried to get with it, try to flirt with like the old lady, this dude. He had me do a bunch of stuff. And then at the end, he sends me back to the crowd and he was like, all right, my key word when I was hypnotized was like something fair, whatever. I forget where the fair was, but like the title of that. And at that moment, I'm supposed to think I'm a volunteer firefighter. The entire place is on fire. I'm supposed to run on stage and just like tell everybody to get the fuck out, basically. And so like I'm sitting there and I'm actually getting really nervous. I'm like, I hope I don't miss when he's supposed to say that. 'Cause, like I'm supposed to be hypnotized right now. You know what I mean? So like he says it and I just jump on stage and start yelling at people. My wife afterwards, she's like, she's like, I knew you weren't hypnotized. She's like, I was really worried that if you were and they had you go on stage like that at the end, that you just start cussing. Everybody get the fuck out of here. But that's what I was worried about. But no, it was a lot of fun though.
I've never been hypnotized. I think that'd be fun. But I agree. I also don't think I would be susceptible.
I think it'd be funny if he did hypnotize you and then he'd say, act out a memory from preschool, and then you just pull out your dick and say, look at my talent, wacka.
Yeah.
All right. Never have I ever prank called someone.
Oh,
Come on.
I mean, yeah, sure.
I actually
I
haven't.
watched
Like an
The Simpsons.
initiation.
I did that at
You've
work.
never prank called anybody.
I've never prank called anyone.
I literally do that at work.
Me too.
Like currently, like Friday.
I phone people up and I'm like, "Hello, Domino's," And it's like, you called me. And I'm like, no, you looking to order a fucking pizza? And then like the conversation goes on after that.
I've been prank called. Like when I worked at McDonald's, we used to get prank calls all the time.
Yeah,
But-
those are fun. Those are always good.
We
Yeah.
got a fuck ton of prank calls at the library.
Yeah.
which is weird because it's like, why?
Just the setting. I
Yeah.
can just
Hey,
imagine you
guys,
being
check
like,
this out. Hey man, I got this great idea. Let's get together. Let's prank call some people. Oh, I got a great idea, man. Let's prank call the library.
And the thing is, I think people thought that it was going to create more of a rise out of us than it did, because honestly, we got real regular calls from like really like strange people asking strange ass questions that weren't trying to prank us. They were just freaking weird people. So like, you know, when somebody just calls and tries to prank you, you're just like, that's not the weirdest thing I've heard today.
Yeah.
Hey, are your books running? Better go catch them.
There was a comment in chat. I think it was Namiria Snow said, never ever have I ever sent a stranger a drink.
like at a bar?
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah, like what you see on TV when someone
Yeah,
brings
like,
over a
oh,
drink and it's like, that's from
so-and-so
that
sent
table
this
over
to me.
there.
Yeah. Nah, that was not me. I never had any game. Or I probably still don't.
Yeah,
I don't even
I'm not
think you
smooth
can
enough.
do that.
Imagine game quotations around that.
I think in the
doesn't get better
UK
if you don't ever have it or never try to improve.
It doesn't
on
get.
you know what I mean?
It's not like whiskey. It doesn't get better with age.
Okay. Yeah, well, I don't have any game then, so I'd just be like,
I think in the UK, like if you asked the bartender to do that, they would tell you to go fuck yourself.
really?
Like, yeah, that's not really a thing here.
In the UK, you have to like fight to get to the bar. You got to get the
Yeah.
elbows
Maybe I'll
in, you
try
know?
that next time just to see how prevalent. Maybe next time I go to a bar, I'll just like randomly pick somebody and buy them a drink.
Just pretend like when you go with Caitlin, just go up to the bar and then just say to the bartender, like, I want to send that girl a drink.
Oh. Dude, that's genius. That's,
That's a
good.
good
She probably
idea.
think it's
Yeah,
cute.
yeah,
Yeah,
Like, where'd you get that drink from? She was like, didn't you get that from? No, I didn't get shit.
yeah. Tell her it was from
I
that
walk over there with my
guy.
I walk over there with my 2 drinks, or our drinks, and then she's already sipping on some new shit. Like, bitch, what you got that for, huh?
smells like chloroform. Like, what the
Just
fuck?
turn it around. Who sent you? You drinking drinks from other dudes in this bar? And you shit? That's what you're doing right now? That's what you're doing? I don't even know you. I don't even know you.
being spiked the amount of times that I have, like, like don't even, like if somebody sends you a drink, don't even drink it.
Yeah, I mean, where I live, I wouldn't trust any
yeah, I
of
guess
the
that's
like
probably a
bars and
thing too then, yeah.
nightclubs to like to do that.
Like I was spiked when I was the day after my 18th birthday, and it literally destroyed my insides. So it was enough speed to like kill a human, but I was quite heavy at the time. I was I
Go
think
ahead.
it was like
Say
20.
a fucking number that is smaller than what I weigh currently, and I will fuck your shit up. I was a pretty heavy lad, rocking in a clean 210. Go fuck yourself.
I was 23 stone, so whatever that is in pounds.
Whatever the fuck that is. I'm just not gonna look it up just to make myself feel better.
Yeah.
Somebody in chat to find that out. But I remember hallucinating in my bedroom, and we went to the emergency room, and she was like, "Oh, you've probably just got like a stomach bug," and I'm like, "Bitch, I am hallucinating. Like,
Yeah.
this isn't just like anything." And I remember like I didn't eat for
Oh wow.
I think 2 months straight. I couldn't eat as soon as I ate. Like I was just be sick. The only thing that I could actually drink was real lemonade, like actual like proper lemonade, not like the fake stuff that you can get. And that's the only thing I could consume for the next 2 months. So like, I am not touching any strangers' drinks. Like fuck that. I take it from the bar, like the bartender, and drink it. I ain't
Yeah.
about that life anymore.
Take it, just down it right away at the bar.
I did have a funny experience where I wasn't the person getting fucked up, but I was the designated person to
Get
be
fucked up.
sober.
You
No,
are
no,
designated
to be
get fucked
sober.
up.
This is like near the end of high school. I was with 5 other people who we all decided for whatever reason, and I was straight edge at the time, that it would be a good idea for them to take mushrooms, and then we would all go see Spy Kids 3D.
Oh, that.
Yeah.
Oh, what a great movie!
So we went and saw Spy Kids 3D, and driving a station wagon full of 5 fucked up like teens who are still asking me if we're still at the film after we're in the car, and I'm just like, fuck you dudes, like I just want to get you home. And it was just like dropping each one of them off was just like a goddamn nightmare.
Dude,
Trying to get them
I
out of the
bet.
car, trying to keep them from like doing shit in the car. Oh my god.
Yeah,
It was funny. It was funny while it happened, but then like it was the after the film was like
Yeah.
not so funny. And then my best friend who lived across the street was one of the people who I was with, and then like I just dropped him off at his house. I'm like, "Are you okay? You gonna be all right?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm fine." He went up to his room, and then he had like a really bad trip that the wallpaper on his walls was like trying to strangle it. It had like ivy, and he was just like, he's
Jesus
like, "It just went
Christ.
bad." And I was like,
Oh,
"Yeah."
no.
And then that just kept me straight edge for quite a while.
It
And
just
they-
went
and they-
bad.
They recently legalized psilocybin, so
In
yeah.
Washington and Oregon, I think, are our 2 states that are
Well,
spearheading
so
this.
to put a different spin on it, in controlled doses, like in terms of microdosing, it can actually be really good for people for depression and PTSD.
Depression, PTSD,
Um,
yep.
Yeah. So whatever. That's
Moderation, yeah.
but taking
Like, to
taking way too much and going
research.
seeing an animated film,
Spy
like a
Kids 3D.
animated film for
3D.
kids, not
Dude,
the way it's. Yeah.
Spy Kids 3D was back when you had the blue and red glasses as well.
Yeah.
Oh,
The
yeah,
little
for sure,
cardboard
man.
ones.
I'm just
But-
surprised it's like Spy Kids that you guys wanted to go see. Usually it's like, I don't know, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, Never Ending Story, something that just like really fucks your mind up or something.
Well, this is it was in theaters, and it was
Mhm.
like there hadn't been any 3D movies that you could actually go into a theater to see. Like this is before, like Condi said, this is like before 3D was like popular.
Yeah.
So the fact that like you even had a film where like they gave you glasses, and yeah, they were the red and blue, like the novelty wasn't there, or it was a novelty because it wasn't like common. So
Yeah, like a brand new thing.
yeah, exactly.
But if
Plus
you
the
cast
Spy
your
Kids
mind
movies are
back-
dope.
But the one only dope, right? But if you imagine taking mushrooms and then watching some of those films, some of the shit that happened in Spy Kids 3D still blows my mind that they even had that in the script.
Oh,
I
being
can only-
sober, it was fucking wild.
Yeah. I can only imagine what they were seeing.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, never have I ever been stood up.
Like by anybody?
Well, I mean, like on
Who
a
would,
date.
who
You
would
mean like a
stand
date?
up?
A date
Who would
or-
stand up this?
Me?
Please.
Well, Cyber, we almost stood each other up the first time we tried to meet up, and we couldn't find each other for like half an hour.
True,
we were
but then we
just
found
running
each other,
circles around each other.
got very merry, and created a beautiful friendship that lasted
Very
many
merry.
years.
Yes, that's true.
The only thing that I
And
can
just
really
to think, just to think, Gandhi, if you had thrown up on your shoes, you might be married.
Yeah,
This guy.
right,
Yeah,
exactly.
Dale would have been out of the picture.
I would have been overcome and been like, I have to marry him.
Choose your words a little bit more carefully, okay? I had a
if you
drink
were
in
the one
me.
sticking your fingers down, Cyber, you might be.
But literally, like we decided, I think it was like 3 or 4 days before, we both got the train to like let's not split any hairs. It's a dive bar. It's a Witherspoons in the UK. If anybody from the UK knows exactly where what Witherspoons is, it's cheap drink. It has no music, no atmosphere. You go there to drink cheap drink. Okay, so we were there for what 4 5 hours, something like that.
Yeah, something like
And
that.
And this tall gentleman, right, was just knocking back drinks. To be fair, I was buying them, right? And the only thing that I can remember from that night is walking down a very steep hill going towards the train and just being like, man, I am so glad we did this.
It was one of those ones where I felt like I wasn't drunk, and then I tried to walk home,
We
and I was
walked
like,
outside,
oh,
yeah.
God.
I'm sure you messaged me saying that you tried to get a taxi, you decided not to, and it took you like 5 times the amount of like
yeah.
normal time it would take you because you kept on like
It's like a
walking down different
20-minute walk
streets
from
and,
the train station to my house,
and
and I
it
was
took
like,
you
I'll
like
get
an
a
hour and a
taxi.
half.
Yeah, it took me a long time. Yep, not my proudest moment. And yeah, Steele had to look after me when I got home. All right, my last one. Sorry, no, go ahead.
If we ever do like a wife's version of this, I have got a very good story of Mary that recently happened that I think I told you guys about that made put us all to shame. Let's just say that.
That doesn't. I'm not surprised in the slightest. I don't doubt it.
So I'll tell a small stories that actually involves the same Witherspoons. The very first time that my wife ever met Condi and vice versa, she spat on an old woman. She spat her drink out at an old woman. And that is my wife. To be fair, this grandma was being a bitch, and like
She had it coming to her. You know what I mean?
it was literally, I think it was like the semi-finals of the rugby, and the rugby's pretty sacred to the Scottish
Oh, I was gonna
people.
say
So
you're
like,
at a rugby match. I don't think age is a thing. You know, you go there being 80 years old, and you're gonna get your shit. Christian, yeah.
exactly, and like everyone was being loud, and I mean like this place maybe holds 300 people, maybe at max, maybe less than that, 200, but everybody in this place was being loud. And like we were quite a rowdy bunch, to be fair. And this old woman kind of pokes her head around and she was like, "We're trying to have a nice drink here. Can you please keep it down?" And Mary just takes a sip of a drink, just goes like that. And the woman walks away, and we were just like, "Fuck yeah."
I didn't
This is
even
my
know
wife.
that had happened until Cyber told me later. Didn't even know that happened.
The thing is, like, I didn't even flinch, which says more about me than it does. I was so
Fair.
proud of her at that moment. It was like she was old, she was a woman. I couldn't hit her, but she was just like spitting drinks at her, and I was like, okay, she's got our back.
I have one more, and I have to drink for this one, but it was never have I ever got detention.
Detention
yeah.
wasn't a really big thing.
I never
It
got
wasn't my
detention.
school.
Detention. The only thing I got was after school suspension.
I've been suspended, but
Yeah,
that's
a
it.
couple times.
I only had detention a couple times.
Yeah, I think I only had a couple times as well.
The big one was
To
when I
make it funny
was-
but sad, but it was mostly because like I was being picked on at school, and then I like I shouted at a bully or something in the hallway and like knocked the shit out of their hands, and then I was the one who got in trouble because like they started it first.
No.
Mine was oh shit, what were we talking about again?
Getting detention or trouble in school.
Suspension.
Thank you. Yeah. That's related to my current status. So when I was a senior, I was 18 my senior year of high school. Or I don't know what the fuck you guys call it over there. I was 18 then.
High
I was
school?
in school.
Yep.
I wasn't in uni yet. Or ever. Anyway, so I was a senior in high school. I was 18. My friends were 18. And we would go to we had a Indian casino about 35, 40 minutes from where we lived. And on Fridays, we didn't have to be at school until like 9 o'clock because they call it late schedule. I don't know why, just Fridays, we didn't have to go till like 9 o'clock. So we woke up at like 4:30 in the morning, and I had to actually get out of my, when I left, I snuck out of my house because obviously, you know, I'm still living with my mom. Snuck out of my house, put my truck in neutral, pushed it down the road like 2 blocks before I started it because I didn't want my mom to hear my truck start up. So I pick up my buddies and we go to the casino, gamble before school. And our plan was meet at the school parking lot and chug a bottle of pop-off plastic bottle vodka that we had cured. And that's how the plan went. We gambled. We went to the parking lot. We got, it was pop-off vodka and strawberry 7-Up. Absolutely
Jesus Christ.
disgusting.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
oh my
I mean,
God.
the pop-off vodka is horrible, but then strawberry 7-Up. Come on, guys. So then we basically polish off this bottle. We're stumbling back into school, not back, but stumbling into school, our first class I had drama, my first class. And we were doing a play, we were doing Grease. And I at the time, keywords being, Danny Zuko. That was my role. But we walk into the class before we go down to the auditorium for practice rehearsals. We're in the just our regular classroom. People are just joking. We walk in. I have my hat on. I'm not supposed to have hats on at school. I have a cigar in my mouth. Not lit. Not lit though. I will say that was my defense the entire time I was talking to the principal's office. It wasn't lit. You know what I mean? It was just there. And we thought we would be fine because we thought our teacher was cool, but they were a square. So, and probably because like at one point, one of my buddies was drunk enough to where he basically told him to fuck off and like, he didn't stuff like that, to where like it pissed the teacher off, understandably. But like I wasn't part of that, and I got wrapped in it. I just wanted to be a little tipsy at school. You know what I mean? So we get there, we go down the auditorium, we're doing rehearsals, and then like 4 cops show up, and then the principal's office, and he's like, "Yeah, we need to go chit chat." So we go sit down. They call my mom, and they're like, "All right, we got the other guys over there. We can wait for the breathalyzer, but they already said you guys were drinking." And my 18-year-old ass, I was just like, "Oh yeah, you're probably telling me the truth." So yeah, I was definitely drinking as well, guys. Even though they said nothing, they said the same thing to them. They're like, he already squealed on you, so you might as well squeal on them. But it was funny. My mom walks in. My mom's like boo-hooing. She's just like, "Nothing like this has ever happened. He's such a good boy." And like, I'm like trying to talk my mom. I was like, "I'm not even drunk." She's like, "I can smell it on you." She's like, "I bet you." She's like, "What'd you do? You wake up at 4:30 in the morning. What'd you do? Put your truck in neutral, push it down the street 2 blocks, and then start it up?" I'm just like, yeah.
How do they know?
Like, she
"How
got
did
cameras
you
by
know?"
this house?
I was like, "How did you know that?" That's exactly what I did.
That's crazy. The craziest part to me is that you'd want to go to a casino at like 5 a.m.
Oh yeah. I mean, well, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah.
When you're 18, doing things like that's a lot easier than when you're in your 30s. But yeah, so I got they gave us they kicked us out for like 3 days, and then we had to do in-school suspension for like 2 Saturdays, and then we had to do required AA meetings, which it was like in-school stuff too. So I just got out of class to go to the library and see some kids at school that had real problems. You know what I mean? Like I'm like, "Yeah, we did this thing," and they're like, "Yeah, I've been fucked on coke for a while." I'm like, "Holy shit, dude, you are 16."
That's crazy.
Jesus Christ.
I'm glad those meetings didn't help you though, because chin.
Yeah, fuck them.
I think the worst, like, I don't think I specifically did anything really terrible at school, but like my class as a whole did literally make a teacher leave their job because like, so it was like it was like in 2nd or 3rd year of high school, so we must have only been like 14 or 15, and we had this just crazy teacher. I don't even remember. I think his name was Dr. Wood, but for some reason we decided his name was Captain Wood, and we all just kept calling him Captain Wood, and it drove him mental for some reason. Called him Captain Wood, and like the class as a whole just fucked with him over and over every single day. And like there was a day where like, I mean, he was like fairly easy to pull the wool over his eyes kind of guy. And like at one point he left the room, and the science part of our school had these desks that went all the way to the floor. So it was just like a row of these like wooden desks that went all the way down. So when he left the room, everybody just cleared their desks and just sat on the floor. So when he walked back in, it was an empty classroom. And he walked in, we're all silent, and you could just sort of hear him looking around and then leaving the room again. And then everyone just got back up to their desks, got all their stuff, and just acted like everything was normal. There was one time where between us, we decided that no one was going to speak. We were just going to mouth our words. So when he asked a question, we'd be like, and he didn't understand. He could not understand what was going on. And there was,
you broke a man's sanity and drove him to quit his job as a class.
I don't know why. Like, so I remember, like, it was like
I just illustrated 2 examples of why we put this dude off so much.
There was one.
You gaslit your teacher into losing their mind.
Yeah, there was this one kid that, like, I think it was like St. Patrick's Day, and he brought in this huge like green top hat that had like a beard attached onto it, and he was wearing it, but he was pretending that he didn't know. So the teacher's like, "Take that off," and he's like, "What are you talking about? I don't understand." And then like when the teacher left the room, he like stood up on the desk and started doing like an Irish jig and everything. And I eventually, oh my god, I forgot all about this. Some of the kids, not me, they would go, not me,
guys.
They would go to his desk when he wasn't there and just have a look around, and they found his lunch and they stole his cream egg. He had like a Cadbury's cream egg.
I don't know what a cream egg. Are you talking like a
Cadbury's cream egg? It's delicious.
Ew.
Yeah.
No, it's actually really good.
It's like a
No,
chocolate
really
egg
not.
with like fondant inside. It's super nice.
Yeah,
no,
they're
I
good.
I get it. It's disgusting.
But he had it in his desk, like with his lunch, and they just stole it. Like, he started stealing things out of his lunch, and it culminated with somebody just said like a cheeky remark to him, and he took this. I don't even really know what it was. It was, I guess, this little wooden. I think he put rulers in it. It was just this little wooden
A
thing.
pencil case.
No, it was almost like a stand for rulers. Very weird.
A ruler stand.
Yeah, right. And he just picked it up and he just smashed it over the desk, just broke it into pieces, sort of screamed, and then left. And then he never came back to the school. And then at that point, our class was marked as like a problem class. And
I wonder why.
yeah, right.
I actually,
I don't know
so I had
why.
a class where something similar to that last bit did happen. We had a teacher who it wasn't anything we did. We didn't fuck with him, but he clearly like had just checked out in terms of teaching. So like in terms of his lesson plans and like what he had us do, it was just like all bullshit, like just busy work. And at one point, and towards the end, he was just putting movies on. But like they just stopped being movies about like the class, and he was just like putting a movie on. We were just like fucking chilling. We're like, cool. You want to watch something about Mary? All right, let's go. And like then at one point, he had like a little leather like attaché case. It wasn't like like not a suitcase, but like like I don't know, adults carry papers around him. And so at one point he puts a movie on it's just like some fucking Hollywood film. We're just watching a movie, and he pulls out like this letter. He's like reading it, and then he like tearfully like crumples it up, shoves it back into the briefcase, and then leaves the classroom without telling us where he's going. And we had a school where like we had like that classroom was near like a window. There's windows that faced out to the parking lot. So there's like the student parking lot and the teacher parking lot. And we only could see out to the student parking lot, but somebody's like, but the road cut around. So somebody's like, yo, I think that's his car. And then somebody was like, no way. Like he didn't just leave in the middle of class for no reason. And then, but he also had like, he was an eccentric dude. Like he bragged that like he had like been like a running back for the Buffalo Bills, but like we knew that was bullshit. And like he bragged, like he made some claim that like he was related to like a NASCAR driver. And we're like, I don't think that's real. And then, so that day, somebody was like, well, I'm just going to go leave and check the teacher's lot. His car was gone. I saw that dude once, like 2 weeks later, and we never saw him after that. Like he just, no idea what happened, but he just had like a little breakdown in class and then just left. And then for like, we were kind of like, do we keep watching the movie? Like, what do we do? Like, do we tell someone? Like, I don't know what to do. But yeah.
Like just on the complete opposite end of that, we had a teacher that the school, all of us just called him Jesus, because he just had like really long brown hair. That was basically it. That was enough for us to have decided that this man was Jesus. And like it turns out this guy used to work for like a metal music magazine, and he like interviewed Slipknot and all these other bands. Like that was what he did. He was like a music journalist before he became a maths teacher. Crazy, but
Easy
like
transition.
he had absolutely no, or it seemed that he had no perception of the fact that we thought he was Jesus. So like, my friends would say things like, sir, can you walk on water? And he'd be like, what? And then they would ask like, hey, when's your birthday? Like, and it just like little things. And I just, the one of the things that stuck with me is one day we got moved to another room because there was some reason we had to go into a different classroom. And the previous teacher had been called Mr. Chris, and they had their name written on the board. So Jesus is like, I'm just going to go next door and get all the tests. I'll be back. So he leaves, and then somebody just gets up and just puts a T at the end of Mr. Chris. And then Jesus comes back in, stands in front of the board, completely oblivious why the entire classroom is rolling around the floor laughing. And he's just like, what is going on right now? Just totally stuck with me. But in hindsight, he was a badass teacher. We should have been nicer to him. But, hindsight's 2020. Do we have anything else, or are we kind of ready to wrap up here?
I have one.
All right, Hess.
Someone, never have I ever received a phone call from jail.
I have not. No.
You
I've
just
not.
want to drink.
I want to
These
drink
are all
too.
tailored.
I mean, I told you all my questions were questions of things I did.
Do we not get to know any more context than that?
No, that's it. No, it wasn't like anyone called me. Like they weren't trying to get a hold of me. I was.
When did
They had
Caitlin
the
call
wrong-
you?
He doesn't like me bringing that up. That's another story for later. It's funny. But she this is before Caitlin, I believe. Anyway, I received a phone call. They
doesn't.
thought 100%. So I got a phone call and it was like, would you like to receive would you like to basically it's a collect call
Yeah.
from
Jail.
something state penitentiary in California. And I was living in South Carolina at the time. And I was just like, no. Like this dude's like his probably last call or whatever, you know what I mean? Or I don't know how if he gets another call, but I'm like, I feel bad. I'm like, sorry, no thanks. And then I get a phone call like 15 minutes later, and it was this dude, and he was like, hey, is some chick's name so and so there? I was like, no, you have the wrong number, I think. My bad. He's like, no. He's like, is so and so there? I was like, no, I think you have the wrong number. Sorry. And I hung up. Calls back again. Hey, is so and so there? I said, no, this is my phone. I think you have the wrong number. This is a California number. This is a South Carolina. I understand. I was like, I live in South Carolina. I still had like my old phone, so it's the same California number. And I was just like, sorry, man, wrong number. Hang up on him again. And he calls back again. But this time it was this older lady. And she was like, hey, she was like, I need to speak with so-and-so, this chick's name again. Same name. And I was just like, I'm sorry, whoever called earlier, I told them wrong number. It's this wrong. You're trying to get a hold of someone that's not here. I don't know who you're trying to get a hold of, but it's not me. I assure you, I don't know who so-and-so is. I'm not covering for so-and-so. I'm not doing anything. I'm just telling you, I'm sorry. This is the wrong name or wrong number. Because it was in response to this prison call or whatever. I don't know the story behind it. And I hang up the phone and then I get called again. And I'm on like speakerphone with like this dude that originally called, this new chick that I think is the chick's mom, I guess. And they're just yelling at me. They're like, so and so's there. We know she's fucking there. Blah blah. And I put them on speakerphone and just like everyone in the room, just like I don't know what the fuck to do with this thing. And we just start fucking with them at that point because we're like, what do you want us to do? Like I said, no. There's only so much like, oh, my bad, I can do. Before I'm just like, all right, well, I'm gonna fuck with you now, I guess. So
You tried to be nice.
Yeah, we start saying stupid shit like, yeah, you know, we start saying really bad things.
I know exactly what you're saying.
He's busy at the moment, but you know.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm all out unless Cyber or
Me
Grog, if
too.
you've got anything else.
I mean, I'll just share a funny story that happened. So, never ever have I ever accidentally gripped an old man.
What do you mean by gripped an old man?
No, not
gripped
gripped.
was not the word he said.
Gripped was not the word.
Depending
Groped.
on how the story plays out, you might have also gripped them.
I did. There's
Oh no.
some light gripping. So, I was in Italy, and this was
He was a lovely man.
This was maybe. Wait, did Connie drink too?
No,
Yeah,
I
he
just
did.
felt
Well,
when you said what you
see.
said, I thought I need more alcohol. That's all.
Okay. Because otherwise, I want to hear your story. So, like around 2003 or so, I went with 8 friends. We went to Italy. Only one of us spoke Italian. They had family who was still in Sicily, and so this trip started. We landed in Rome. We stayed with a friend of theirs, and then we like just did touristy stuff. But it was like we were staying in hostels. It was really like shoestring. We didn't have like an itinerary. We just kind of like bopped around Italy and just played it by the seat of our pants, and it was really fun. We got down to Sicily, had a good time in Sicily, and then we were due to fly back out of Rome. So we were going to take a train from Sicily back, and it's actually kind of cool. They like put the train like onto a ferry, like to take you back across, and so like it was a one-stop thing, but it was overnight. And so when we booked the train, you don't get like this is like a like this is the kind of train where like you'd see it like in a film where it's like there's just open cabins and like you just oh, is this one full? Okay, no, you go to the next one. Oh, is this one full? No. So we got to one where there's 2 guys. It didn't seem like they knew each other, and they were seated across from one another, and they both obviously they got there first, so they took the window seats. But there was still room for 4 other people, 2 on each side. So it was my friend Mike and Melanie who sat opposite, and me and my buddy Justin. And it's getting into the evening. Like I think I brought like a book. I like fell asleep reading, and like we weren't due to pull into Rome until the morning. So we pull in the morning, and I apparently my friends Mike and Melanie said that when they woke up, they were all just like, it's like being on a plane. You maybe like somebody falls asleep on somebody's shoulder. Well, I fell asleep on this dude's shoulder, but apparently I had also like kind of tried to spoon him. And like my hand was on his inner thigh, like really high up his inner thigh. And I woke up, but when I woke up, like I was it was like a long trip. So I woke up and I was just like, oh, and like the train had just rolled in, so we had to get our shit and get off. So like we're grabbing things from the overhead. And I'm like, oh man, like fuck, I slept rough. And I'm grabbing my stuff and we're getting out of the car. And again, I hadn't spent a lot of time to learn a lot of Italian, but I learned how to count, 1 through 10. I learned how to say some basic stuff. And, I knew to say ciao, like, goodbye. And like, these guys were pretty quiet on the trip. They had talked to my friend who spoke Italian like a couple times, but mostly they kept to themselves. And again, they were just two strangers. And when we were leaving, I was like, ciao, 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 bye, ciao. And like, the guy just like gave me this like look of just like, why are you fucking talking to me? Like, just, I can't, like, he was just waiting for me to leave the car. And I was like, what's up with that dude? And like, you like felt him up in your sleep. And I was like, no, I didn't. You're just fucking with me. And my friend Justin, who is a jokester, but also like, I can tell when he's just like being serious. He was just like, nah, dude, you had your hand up that guy's like package. Like you were holding on to him, and like he was asleep and didn't realize, but woke up first. And I was like, no, you gotta be.
But woke up first.
And he said, no, he pushed you off of him, and like you just woke up, and then we got off the train. And I was like, fuck, that explains everything about how awkward it was.
How terrified he was of you.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, look, it was cold. I don't know what to say. Like,
she just threw up on his shoes.
I was going through some things.
I snuggled up for
warmth
warmth.
of another person, and he was there.
Yeah,
That's all you need to say.
that's all.
It could have been the start of a beautiful love story.
It could have been.
I mean,
although,
just think about it. You were 2 fingers in your mouth short of marrying this guy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
now, had it gone somewhere, Humps, I would have had to have drunk to the earlier question of, have you dated somebody well outside your age?
Oh.
This guy, this is my like early 20s, like real early 20s. And I think he was probably.
So this was like a steam train.
Oh, yeah. And I probably want to say.
Coal powered.
This is a coal-powered train.
I want to say this guy was probably in his like mid.
Like you saw the people building the tracks when you're riding.
Anyway.
Yeah, well, I think that's
was,
a good one to end
good.
on. Yeah, we hope you've enjoyed this, guys. It's been fun.
We really
It's been
do.
interesting.
We really do. We'd like to do more of this kind of stuff.
Yes,
And this
absolutely.
is a lot of fun. Just
Well-
us chilling and hanging out, which is I think is a lot more real and just a lot of chill
And
hangout
talking about
spot.
DMCA shit
Yeah.
Yeah,
over and over.
exactly. It's so nice
We've
to
got,
not talk
we've
about
got
DMCA.
so much to give that isn't about the record.
Yeah, music
industry.
is great and the podcast works, but this kind of stuff like this is I think where we really vibe at. So
Yeah.
we'd really like to do a lot more of this stuff.
Yeah, we have more planned. We can't speak to how regular this show will be. I mean, our Sunday show will continue to be mostly every week. But yeah, we want to definitely try and throw some more of these in. And if you ever have any ideas of things we can do, I mean, obviously the idea to start us was to play Never Have I Ever, but really we just wanted to bring up conversations and tell stories, But if you have any thoughts, please do let us know. Thank you very much for listening. If you're watching on Twitch, maybe you missed part of it, this will be up on YouTube. We'll probably throw it on Spotify too. I think this will work as an audio
Yeah. Oh,
one too.
100%.
100%.
So we'll get it up there if you want to watch the full thing for you guys. We will see you on Sunday for the DMCA podcast that we do. And then, hopefully we'll be doing another one of these very soon. But I guess, Cyber, where can everyone find you? I guess we should do that.
Oh, we're doing this.
Yeah, why not?
You can find me on all major platforms: The Cyber Project, TikTok, Instagram, Twitch, YouTube. I was gonna be streaming today, but we did this, and I am a little bit too buzzed to play Tarkov. So you will catch me tomorrow, playing Tarkov.
Hell yeah, man. Grog, where can everyone find you?
People can find me on Twitch at just_grog and on other platforms at gamer_grog. I stream 5 days a week. I'm looking forward to finishing off this game, Call of Cthulhu, with my wife on Saturday. That's going to be a lot of fun. And otherwise, yeah, I was going to stream today, but this is a fucking blast. I can't wait to do more of this stuff. So I look forward to that in the future.
Hell yeah. And Humps, where can everyone find you?
You can find me where you want to find me. Sir Humps pretty much everywhere. Underscore on the Twitters.
In the casino at 5 a.m.
You type in Sir Humps on
in
the
jail.
socials. There's not a whole lot of people with this beautiful mug, so you know what I mean. Like you'll be able to find it. It's all good.
Your beard's not even 2 feet long, pussy.
Yeah. I don't want to brag or anything, but these Live bearded products are pretty phenomenal. Shameless plug. Codes Sir Humps, 10% off.
Codes Sir Humps. Codes Sir Humps.
When I'm not streaming, you can find me at the old folks' home. Apparently,
You can find
Grandpa
me with
Grog.
my old people diapers and stuff like that. Let's see. I work this weekend. I don't know when I'm gonna stream soon. I don't know. I work tomorrow and this weekend, so it might be like Monday the next time I stream. But
you better stream soon because you got to show off that
I know,
fucking
man.
sick
I
new
should-
camera
yeah.
and background.
Yeah,
It's
brother.
looking good.
Hell yeah.
Oh, we did just Caitlin, my wife. She just came in. And she was like, my son just found a bottle of melatonin vitamins." Sure, it's fine. He's probably taking an early nighttime.
Okay.
A couple gummies. We're fine.
Well, I'm Connie Fly. You can find me Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, and my main platform, which is of course now TikTok. That's the main platform we're gonna be focusing on. And more importantly, you can find the podcast on Twitter at Zero Strategy Pod. We're also on YouTube, Spotify, and if you're listening on one of the audio platforms, we do stream this live on Twitch, and it's always a blast hanging out with chat. So come and come and talk to us. Thank you so much, guys. I really do hope you've enjoyed. We've had a blast. We are gonna go raid somebody, so please stick around for that, and we will see you guys on Sunday. Take it easy.
Peace out.
Bye.
Bye.